Are you the person that is trying to run your business and run the sales function? Effectively, if you are the business owner and the head of sales in your business, that is going to lead to a cash roller coaster. As your business gets bigger, as you start to bring more people in, as the volume of work increases, as your business gets more complicated, that becomes increasingly difficult because your operational tasks increase as well as your managerial tasks. And then what starts to happen is you experience these sales and marketing roller coasters. You put lots of time and energy into sales and marketing. You then pull back, solve a problem, get involved in something else. Before you know it, cash isn't looking great, so you have to jump back into sales, get a few big deals over the line, look after a few key customers, get distracted. Now, this is a perfectly normal journey for a business. One of the hardest parts of your journey to grow in your company is that gap between about 3 and 10 million. I have a client that was in this exact same situation. Head of sales, managing director, and frankly, doing everything else that the business needed him to do. Stuff that I'm sure you can identify with. The trouble is that as the business started getting bigger and more complicated, this business owner got increasingly stretched. That meant that his time and attention couldn't be on sales as much as it needed to be. And as a result, the business started experiencing the cash flow roller coaster. 1 month, he'd be all over sales, pushing sales, having the right client meetings, sales would go up, and then he'd step out of it and dip into something else. And what started to happen was the sales roller coaster became hugely problematic for this business. They started experiencing cash flow difficulties because this business owner wasn't able to give his full time and attention to the sales role.
Meanwhile,
he had an operations manager that was not doing a great job. The operations manager had kind of fallen into that role out of convenience over the years, as is the case with many businesses. This person had done all of the different roles in manufacturing, and they just happened to be the most convenient person to put in place to run operations. But this operations person was gifted with clients, was able to get things over the line, was able to put time and effort into sales every now and then and support the business owner in closing some of those bigger deals. But again, the ops manager was dipping in and out of sales. And the challenge that we had here was you've got an operations manager that's not doing what they're supposed to do. And certainly this operations manager didn't have the capability and the experience to be able to scale operations to the extent that this business needed him to scale it. But at the same time, the owner wasn't doing a great job on sales. So what we did was we got the business owner to remove himself out of sales. We moved the operations person into the head of sales seat, and we hired an operations person. That decision unlocked 3 problems and it released the business. It helped this business grow and scale. It helped the business owner stay focused on strategic things and actually managing the team and putting proper time and attention into people planning and development, etc. It helped the ops manager move into a seat where he was in flow, he was doing good work that he was able to do consistently and to a high standard. And we brought in somebody that was able to actually structure the operations function, bring in the right equipment, bring in the right automation, embrace lean manufacturing, and has helped this business achieve great results. It is incredibly important to not let your organizational structure just drift and morph into something that is convenient. You need to be deliberate about designing the structure that your business needs and aligning that to your growth goals. You as the business owner cannot have your fingers in all of the pies. If you do, there will be consequences. And for most business owners who are trying to cover the sales seat and trying to be the managing director and trying to be everything else, what that often creates is cash roller coasters, which are symptomatic of the sales and marketing roller coasters. As your business grows, you must be very mindful of what seats you need to start putting the specialists in. It's okay, like I say.
I'm a poet and didn't even know I was rhyming those words.
Under 2 million, everyone can muck in and do whatever they need to do. But as soon as you start getting bigger and more complicated, you have to build a management team of specialists around you so that you can focus on helping that team, setting the direction, and helping them help you formulate a proper strategy for growth. That is the way that you get yourself out of the stuck point that catches so many good businesses between that 3 to 10 million pound mark. It's that point where you become the bottleneck and you stop your business from being able to scale. If you are experiencing some form of this in your business right now, there's a very simple exercise I'd like you to do. If you take your team members' job descriptions or scorecards and you score each area in flow or out of flow, inflow means those tasks where it gives them energy, they can do it to a high level, they have the aptitude to do it. Out of flow is where something is really hard. It takes huge amounts of energy and performance is mediocre and unpredictable. Next to that, you give them a performance score for each of those key areas of responsibilities or tasks out of 5. So 1 is low, 5 is high. That is going to give you a picture of where you have team members where they've got roles where they're out of flow, where they have roles where they're underperforming. And most of the time, it's not a performance management fix. You need to consider whether that person is in the right seat. And often you can move their seats, put them into a position where they are playing to their strengths and they are contributing significantly more value to the business. Sit down and do this to help you understand whether you've got the right people in the right seats and what you need to do about it. Your ultimate responsibility as the managing director of your business is to ensure that you've got the right strategy, that the financial targets are being met, and your team is structured correctly, the right bums on the right seats. I'd also like to invite you to do the right people in the right seats assessment, which you can find a link to in the comments below. See you next time on Mind Your Own Business.